Welcome to Slow News Day Live. My name is Steve Poikin, and I am here in lockdown Boulder Creek, California. And title says breaking. It's a couple hours past breaking, but I think I'm the first person in the U.S. to go live with this, so we'll call it that. Friend of the show, friend of the Free Assange Vigils, and journalist extraordinaire Tareq Haddad joins me today because he was present in the courtroom for the case management hearing for Julian Assange. So, Tareq, how's it going there, brother?
Yeah, I'm okay, thank you. Trying to survive the lockdown like everyone else.
Yeah.
Trying to keep my sanity, but which is becoming harder and harder. But yeah, I'm personally doing okay. I can't complain too much. Yeah, I was in court this morning for that.
So let's kind of walk through that a little bit, because ordinarily a case management hearing would be pretty dry, but one of the key points that was addressed today was whether or not Julian's partner and the names of his children would be released. And it seems like a regular human being with a organic heart, not one made out of metal and the ground up bones of children, would want to protect the names of Julian's partner and children. What happened with that?
Well, so this has kind of been an ongoing thing where we've been discussing it back and forth for a little while. It's actually one of those cases where I kind of probably tend to disagree with most Assange supporters. And that might make me a little bit unpopular, but I think, that's my opinion. So it was kind of started off when we had the discussions about whether Julian should be granted bail, with kind of in light of this whole COVID outbreak. His partner had given a statement to say that she's been in the UK for 20 years with their two children. Well, not for 20 years with the children, but she's been in the UK. She has a house in the UK, and her statement was to the effect that if Julian was given bail, he would have a firm address in the UK, and his family ties are here. His children are here. It was kind of one of those statements just to show that he's going to stay in the UK. He's not at risk of flight. Understandably, she's tried to seek quite a sheltered life away from the press, and tried to keep her children away from the press, which I don't blame her at all, and I completely understand that. Julian's defense lawyers made an application to have her anonymity protected. And the reason why I probably would disagree I'm still on the fence, but the reason that I can see the argument why it should be named is that historically in British courts, for someone's anonymity to be granted, there needs to be proof that they are at harm if they're going to be named in the court proceedings. As far as I'm aware, there might have been harassment before, or there's the potential of harassment in the future if she's named. But that's kind of no different than anyone else being named in a newspaper. So I think it's one of those fine balances of, you need to demonstrate that there is harm caused, or that they are at, significant risk of being harmed, in a different way than any other person being named by the press. Because we have this principle of open justice. You can't kind of give evidence from someone if they're not named. If you can't verify it, if you can't kind of back it up. But so today there's kind of two different aspects to it. There's the anonymity aspect to it, and then there's the reporting restrictions. So at the moment, there is no anonymity for her, but she hasn't been named in the court proceedings. But if she was to be, or there is no anonymity protection, so she can be openly named. Anyone could talk about it. But right now, there is a reporting restriction under the UK's contempt of court legislation. So if you report when you're not supposed to, you'd be held in contempt of court. So that's currently in place, and that's going to be in place until the 24th of February. because so the judge has declined to give her that protection. Julian's lawyers feel like she deserves that protection. They have their reasons, their arguments, which they could be valid. Because those arguments haven't been given. They are appealing that to the High Court, the Supreme Court. So, sorry about that. Yeah, so they have to make that application to the High Court before the 24th, to the Supreme Court, I should say, and that gives, and then we have to wait for the decision of the Supreme Court whether her anonymity or not should be protected, or better to say whether the reporting restrictions are there or not. She can be in court.
But in the interim time, it is legal for them to publicly print her name, or reporters to okay, so it's like an injunction. They can't report it until the High Court or the Supreme Court makes a determination one way or another.
Yeah, well, at the moment, it's pretty much that. But it's kind of like she can't be named until the 24th, which is enough time for the application for that to be made. If they if they kind of forget, if they drop the ball to make the application, or for some reason they change their mind, that'll just automatically drop away, and then she can be named. So if you do name her, and then I guess this is a warning to everyone, if you do name her, if you do know what her name is or the children's names, you could be held in contempt of court, which carries I believe, a £5,000 fine and a 5-year prison sentence, something along those lines. Just to warn the activists out there.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I personally, I don't know anybody who's on, like, I suppose our side of the fence of this activism that would want to publicly name Julian's partner or children. At least here in the States, you can't print the name of a minor child without consent of the parent or guardian. I would hope that applies universally, but I'm not sure.
It kind of depends. If there's a newsworthy reason to print the name, there might be. And the judge kind of gave a bit of guidance today, which she said, regardless if that decision is given to allow you to print the names, we would kind of request that you would make your own judgments as to whether it's actually in the public interest, and whether it's newsworthy. So then it will be kind of down to the individual publication to do so. Either way, at this stage in the proceedings, we haven't actually heard the names of the children or the partner. We don't know why they're seeking protection, other than some sort of harassment, but we've not really gone into those details. I imagine those details will be made within the actual application to the Supreme Court.
All right. Any other points to touch on that happened during the hearing today? I know that they discussed the possibility of whether or not to even move forward with the hearing on the 18th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was kind of one of the main points of today. Again, I think a clear demonstration of what's going on. But yeah, we had the defense team arguing why they're just not capable of being prepared. At the moment they're not able to see Julian at all. There's no visitation, a lot of visitation times in Belmarsh. It's very difficult. Even the video service is not available. There's all these reasons that they're just not able to prepare all of the material and everything that's needed for this case. And despite that, the judge said, we're still going to go ahead on the 18th of May. Interestingly to that point, even so, there is a psychiatrist for the U.S. prosecution who has to go to Assange to submit evidence for the prosecution side, and he's not been able to do that, and the prosecution haven't been able to submit evidence that they need to give to the defense. So even in spite of the U.S. prosecution not being able to give all the materials that they need to provide by a certain date, the hearing is still set to go forth on the 18th of May. In the interim, we've got another case management hearing, which will be on I believe it was the 24th of April. And that's just kind of that remand period where Julian, every 28 days, it has to be updated. So I think at that point, the judge said today, because the extradition courts are due to be back in about 2 weeks' time and to start kind of opening, and not for just Julian, for all other court cases in the UK, for extraditions in the UK. So she said she's not kind of prepared to make a decision on what the global picture will look like in May. It could change day by day. So I think there is still a very high possibility that this might get delayed, and there's probably going to be a lot of delays anyway, just because the world seems a little bit chaotic at the moment. So that I think that this is bound to be a very long process, but at the moment we're set to start on the 18th.
All right. Well, I think that's as caught up as we're gonna get. Tareq, I want to thank you for your time this morning. I have to get ready for a show in about 45 minutes. So to the people watching, I'll be back in less than an hour with Johnny Axon. That'll be lively. That guy's got a lot of fucking energy. Tareq, thank you so much. Will you please tell people where they can find you and what's going on with Watchdog?
So yeah, it's thewatchdog.net. I've been a little bit quiet on that kind of front of things. I think people might have seen a lot of activity more than that first week of hearings, and been very quiet since. But I'm kind of been busy trying to build a kind of a new platform, kind of trying to use coding and different techniques to kind of try and protect journalists and protect whistleblowers, and kind of getting around lots of the censorship issues that we're seeing. So I'm trying to work on a kind of a more technological solution, which is not something that I've got a specific background in. So it's been a bit of a learning curve, but yeah, trying to kind of build a platform where people can share news securely and kind of also get rewarded for it and get paid for doing good journalism and things like that. So that's what I'm doing here.
All right. Well, yeah, that's going to do it for this. Vanessa Baraster, unsure if she goes to court on a bicycle or a broom, but nonetheless gets there. Yeah, that'll wrap the show for now. I will be back in about 45 minutes. This has been Slow News Day. I'm Steve Poikinen, and good luck to us all.